Good morning to you all. My name is Kayode David, popularly known as Prof K, and I want to specially welcome everyone to the first module of this training, which is on Introduction to Whiteboard Animation. I'm just going to be introducing you to whiteboard animation in this first module.
We are in the digital age, and what 21st century is demanding from you is your ability to be digitally inclined. Some people don't even know how to do some certain things on their phone. Those things that should be a normal thing for you to do, it's becoming, difficult for you to do. And in this digital age, they don't know how to undo some things. Like most of the things you are going to be learning from this platform, I promise you that by the end of the class, of all these modules, I'll be sending assignments to you. You are going to be doing it, and then you are going to be producing amazing content for your social media platforms that will help you to, to generate or to engage your customers or your audience. Do you get it now? And I want you to learn with patience and with all attention. You understand? You have to be very attentive. You have to listen to instructions, and then make sure you are doing all your assignments. You understand? On the group, I'm going to create another group for assignment where every assignment will be submitted. Okay, now let's move to this video. Now, if you want to generate a lot of income, a lot of money for yourself, if you want to generate a lot of money, income, or get more customers, or capture the mind of people on social media, you have to learn all these 21st century skills, because that is what the world is responding to now. That is what this digital age is demanding from you. And if you don't know it, if you are ignorant of these things, you cannot succeed in this dispensation, in this digital age. It is not a course, but it is just the reality. Those who are making $1 billion, those who are making $1 million, those who are making $1,000 within just 1 week as a tech pro, do you think they don't know what they are doing? But because they have the understanding of all this, how to make use of the digital tools, you understand, to captivate the mind of people, they are generating a lot of incomes from those platforms. And that is the reason why you should learn from this training. You understand? You're going to learn so many things, and I want you to take it so serious. Do it with all your heart, with all diligence. You understand? And that is the reason why we are going to be starting with, I'm a teacher by God's grace, and I'm going to teach you step by step. I'm going to guide you through. If you have any question or something is bothering your mind that you don't understand, you can quickly ask me. Do you understand? So today I'm going to be introducing you to a concept, you understand, which is whiteboard animation.
And the learning objective for this module, for this class today, is one. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to define or explain what whiteboard animation is all about. Okay, then two, give a proper description of what whiteboard animation looks like. Three, state different types of whiteboard animation and explain briefly. Four, state 5 benefits of whiteboard animation. 5, state or itemize different places where whiteboard animation can be used. Then 6, enumerate the importance of whiteboard animation. Then the last but not the least is explain why whiteboard animation captures people's attention. Why whiteboard animation captures people's attention on social media platforms. Okay, now you are specially welcome to this class once again. Let's start with immediate effect. Okay, when we talk about whiteboard animation, I want you to pay full attention to this wonderful class, because you are going to learn a lot of things. When you talk about whiteboard animation is a style of video creation where text, drawing, illustrations, icons, and characters appear on the screen in a way that looks like they are being drawn by hand on a whiteboard. You understand? In the previous video you watched, you were able to see how a particular hand was writing on the board, that there was a whiteboard and a particular hand was writing on that board. The particular hand was giving a description. That particular hand was drawing, illustrating, giving a description of icon, then animating characters. You understand? And it was appearing on the screen in order for you to project your ideas for the world to see. Some people have business ideas. You understand? They have it in their mind. But one of the best way to bring what you have in your mind into a visual reality is by using whiteboard animation. Then that captures people's mind. And I'm going to tell you before the end of this video why whiteboard animation captures the mind of people. But for the sake of this, at the beginning, which we are still talking about the meaning of whiteboard animation. In whiteboard animation, there is a board. You understand? Whiteboard. And if you don't want it to be white, you can change the color. You understand? But we call it whiteboard animation because the original color of that whiteboard is white. The original color of that whiteboard animation is white. So that's why we call it whiteboard animation. You can actually change the color. And then, don't worry, by the time we get to the real training, which is on the second module, I'm going to be giving you a description of, different part of whiteboard animation. You understand? Things that you are going to see on whiteboard animation. Okay? Now you will see a particular hand writing on the screen. What is in your mind that you have already made available? That hand is going to be helping you to be writing it. You understand? It's just like a teacher writing in the class on the board. You understand? But this digital device will help you to write it on the board, on that whiteboard. You understand? For your presentation. Okay? Then let's look at how the hand looks like and how whiteboard animation works. Okay? Now, in most whiteboard animation videos, you will see that hand. All these hands, we have different types of hands. The one with red, we have the one with red color that is having a cross on it. We have different hand holding different pen, holding different markers. You understand? Some hands are holding markers, while some are holding pen, while some are holding pencils. If you look at them, as you can see, this hand, I'm talking about this hand. We have different categories of hand. It depends on the one you like. You can pick it for that. You can pick any of the hand for it to be writing for you on the board, on this whiteboard. You understand? That is how those hands look like. Then they are going to be drawing or writing information step by step. You understand? And in that process, if you have something you want to say about what that hand is writing, then you can use a voice. You understand? To explain, like you can use voiceover to explain what that hand is writing on the board. Okay, now I don't want this video to be too long. It is just for me to introduce to you what whiteboard animation is all about, and at the end of this class you'll be able, I assure you that you'll be able to explain what whiteboard animation is all about. Okay, now let's move to different types of whiteboard animation. Different types of whiteboard animation. So now we have types of whiteboard animation. There are different types of whiteboard animation video. That is the next thing that we are going to talk about. Number one is educational whiteboard videos. You understand? Educational whiteboard videos. That one is used for teaching and tutorials. You understand? If you want your teaching to be engaging, if you want your teaching to be dynamic, you can use this whiteboard animation to enhance your teaching processes, your teaching methodologies. You understand? Some teachers are good, but they don't know how to apply some of these devices for their classes to be more enhanced. You understand? So students will easily understand what you are teaching them when you bring it into a visual reality. And whiteboard animation is a kind of platform that can help you to project whatever you want to teach the student in a dynamic way. And students love, we have different categories of students. That is if you are a teacher. We have different categories of students or people generally, even on social media. You see people scrolling But when it comes to visual reality, they are always having this kind of mindset that, oh, what is the next thing that this hand is going to be writing? So they don't know. So you can use it to capture the mind of your student in the class as a teacher for them to learn faster. We have auditory learners, we have visual learners. Those visual learners, they learn faster when they see pictures, diagrammatic description, diagrams. They love to see pictures. Okay, we have auditory learners, they love to, when they are hearing sound, they learn faster. Okay, we have kinesthetic learners. Those ones, they love both visual and audio, but the most important thing that they love the most is when you tell them to, carry out the same thing you told them, you explain to them. If you tell them to do that thing with their hand, they are always excited. You understand? So, and everything is what I'm going to be doing in this class. We are going to be doing both visual. I'm showing you the visual reality of whiteboard animation. Then I'm now adding sound to it to explain what I have on those on each slide of the word whiteboard animation. Okay, the second one, even in education, if you're a professor at a particular university, you can use this whiteboard animation to give your presentation in a dynamic way. You understand? Or to enlighten the world. You get it? Okay. Number two is business promotion video used for marketing products and services. If you want to market your business, if you're a businessman, or even if you're a fashion designer, you get it? You are into fashion, you are into shoes, building of shoes, or you are into different field, you understand, where you engage yourself in different kind of businesses, and you want those businesses to what, to move forward, to expand. You want people to be aware of what, the kind of business you do. You can use whiteboard animation to advertise what you do to people. You understand? Okay, you can use it to market the product for people to be aware that a product is existing. Okay, then this whiteboard, we also have another whiteboard animation, which is storytelling whiteboard videos. Then that one is used for emotional or motivational storytelling. You want to teach, people a particular story. You want to tell them, or even you can use it to, to give an analysis on a particular history, or motivate them through storytelling. You can motivate people through storytelling. If you post on TikTok and you want to use whiteboard animation to, show the visual reality behind a particular story, you understand? So if you're a pastor, you understand, you can use whiteboard animation to evangelize on the social media platforms. You understand? And that's why we have social media whiteboard animation. If you're a businessman, you can use it to advertise your business on social media platforms. Pastor can use it to explain to children, especially if you're a children pastor. You can use it to explain, the birth of Jesus, how the birth of Jesus, started. You understand? And the prophecy that was given before the birth of Jesus. You can use whiteboard animation to visualize, to tell people about how the birth of Jesus looks like. Okay, then as a businessman, you can tell them about your product and services. Okay, you can use a storytelling method to capture the mind of the student before you start introducing whatever you want to teach them. Okay, then social media whiteboard animation, that one is very, very common. It's very important because all these things that we have been talking about, if you want to educate the world, you want to tell people about the business you do, or you want to give a story about something or on a particular person, you understand, and you want the whole world to know within a very short period of time, then you can make use of what? Social media whiteboard animation. You understand? Okay, then if I say social media whiteboard animation, they have different patterns. You understand? Okay, the fifth one is explainer video, which is used to explain systems, apps, or processes. You understand? The processes. If you want to cook jollof rice or fried rice, you want to tell people that you are a chef and you want to teach them how they can cook rice or fried rice or shawarma. You understand? Within a very short period of time, you can capture everything on this whiteboard animation to give those processes, showing them pictures of those materials or of those things they need, you understand, for them to produce shawarma, you understand. Then you can tell them the processes, okay? Put something on fire, put this, mix this together, mix the other ingredient together, and at the end, you also show them the product using visual realities on whiteboard animation. So you can use it to explain any process, you understand, okay? Then the last but not the least for this video, I'm talking about the most common types of whiteboard animation. Church and inspirational video, which is used for ministry and inspirational teachings. If you're a kind of person that receives inspiration and you want the world to know, you understand, the kind of inspiration you have, and you want them to learn from it, or you're a pastor or teacher of the word of God, or you are even an imam or a far, you understand, you can use whiteboard animation to tell people more about God. And then let's now go to the next one. Don't forget, I have given you the objective of this lesson, and I promise you should be able to explain those things. You should be able to give a proper description of those things, that of the objective I have stated earlier. Okay, now let's look at how whiteboard animation is beneficial, the benefit of whiteboard animation, you understand. Okay, now whiteboard animation, helps to give visual illustration of processes, complex processes, you understand. Visual illustration. If I want to illustrate how, if I want to illustrate how a shoe, as a shoe builder, you understand, can be made, you understand, then I can use whiteboard animation or to tell them about my business, about the shoe I'm building. If I'm a fashion designer, I can show them different kind of styles of clothes, you understand, for them to know that I am a professional and a modern fashion designer through whiteboard animation. Okay, then you can make complex idea simple. You can simplify complex idea. If you're a mathematics teacher, you can use whiteboard animation to, to simplify complex idea. Or if you're a chemistry, if you're a chemist or a chemistry teacher, or biology teacher, you can use whiteboard animation to solve complex problems. Okay, let's say for example, if I'm talking about ABA process, and I want my student to understand it easily without reading too much of books, I can use a visual illustration to, tell them even more about ABA process, about the production of ammonia. I'll just give them pictures of those different stages, you understand, that are involved when it comes to the production of ammonia. Then they will understand it easily. By the time they pick up their textbooks, then they are going to they are going to understand it speedily, you understand, because you have already given them the visual illustration of it. You have already simplified the complex ideas behind it. Then if you look at it here, unique, you will see unique, you will see engaging, you will see engaging, you will see easy to understand. Those ones are the characteristics or the feature of a good visual illustration. Your visual illustration must be engaging, it must capture the mind of people. That is, and also it must be unique. It must be something that has the capacity to, to capture the mind of people for them to watch it. Even if they don't want to watch it before, it has to be unique to the point that even people, big men, they don't have any other option than to watch it. You understand? Okay, then it has to be easy to understand. That's another feature. Your visual illustration must be easy to understand. Then all these things that you see, problems, it is under complex idea made simple. You understand? The first thing is to tell people about the problem. Let's say coronavirus. You give a picture, a pictorial diagram of coronavirus, and let's say as a doctor, you want people to know more about coronavirus or antivirus. Then you give a picture of how that coronavirus looks like, or antivirus, and also the causes, you understand. maybe the rat, you can give the structure or picture of how that rat looks like, so that anyone that sees it around, they will look for the best way to eliminate them or to kill them, so that it won't infect them. Then you tell them the precautions or the measures to prevent these antivirus diseases or coronavirus. You understand? You can use all this whiteboard animation to illustrate and to solve those complex ideas. Then the second one is solution. You tell them the solution and the result of what you are trying to describe. So, and then let's move to very soon. This class is going to uh, be concluded because I don't want the video to be too long. Then text animation. You can use whiteboard animation for text animation. You understand? And it is that text animation and motion effect that gets people's attention the most. So, and if you look at text animation, under text animation, you will see different kind of text styles. You understand? That can, if you look at that sketch, you will see different kind of text style. You understand? You can use different kind of text style. Then you can animate it. You understand? And that animation is even one of those things that draws the attention of people. Then motion graphics. That one has to do with what? Motion or visuals. You understand? That's motion. It has to, give an analysis of the effect of movement when you add motion to a particular icon. Let's say an icon, you want it to, to change the dimension or the way it moves. You understand? The way it moves for people to, for people's mind to, for you to keep people's mind engaging, like to engage them. You understand? Okay, you can zoom it in, you can zoom it out. All those things are motion effect. Okay, you can fade it. You understand? And even make it more bolder. You understand? You can make something bounce. Like you can make your text to bounce. That is motion graphics. You can make the picture or the icon to bounce. You get it? So on whiteboard animation, that's why it is very important. And then you can use it for storytelling. You can use it for audio narration. You can, if you want to tell stories, people like stories. Some people like stories. You can look for different pictures. I'm going to teach you the website that you need, those things, how you are going to get all these pictures for you to be able to create a whiteboard animation in a dynamic way. Okay, audio narration, then storytelling. Okay, then that storytelling, if you want to teach, children loves stories. Let's say you want to teach them on whatever you sow you shall reap. You understand? That topic alone, you can use it to capture the mind of the student, that they won't be distracted at all and they will learn a lot of lessons. That is if you are dealing with children. Okay, and another thing is whiteboard animation, where whiteboard animation is used. You understand? Whiteboard animation is used in businesses. As you can see, you can use it in schools, you can use it in churches, you can use it in content creation, like content creators, by content creators. Then advertisers, if you want to advertise your business, you can use whiteboard animation. Then digital marketer, if you're a digital marketer, you can use whiteboard animation. Then YouTubers, in fact, those YouTubers, especially those that are doing faceless channel, you understand, and it's not necessarily AI. It's not compulsory for you to be AI content creation. Are you getting me? Your faceless YouTube channel can be in form of whiteboard animation. You can be teaching people different kind of concepts in a visual form, reality form. You understand that they are going to learn a lot of things, even though the video is not very long, but they are going to learn so many things. If I'm not a type that loves to, that loves to capture or to snap pictures or to record myself on videos, you don't want your face to be shown, you can use whiteboard animation to communicate your information effectively. That's one of the things. And then you are not going to spend too much of money on, or too much of your time on the production of the video. Are you getting me now? You just come to your whiteboard animation, then craft whatever you want, and then put it on whiteboard. It's going to be animated for you. It's going to, including text animation, icon animation. In every area, you can capture the mind of people. You can teach them complex things in a very dynamic way, and it will be faster. Okay, then you are going to be earning a lot. If you want to be earning dollars, you want to be earning a lot of money even from YouTube. YouTube is not like TikTok. You understand? Nigerian account, sometimes they don't, it will be very difficult for Nigerian account to get monetized. But if it is UK or maybe America or all these developed countries, you know, they can get their account monetized on TikTok easily. You understand? Without any struggle. But YouTube, regardless of the country you came from, you know, your account, you can get your account monetized anytime, any day. Okay. Then as an online tutor, if you're an online tutor, you can use whiteboard animation. You understand? If you don't want to, even if you don't want to be talking too much in the class, you can tell your student to watch a whiteboard animation. Like I sent a video to you to watch before this class. You understand? I wanted to explain in details what we have in that video. I'm very sure that some people are fast learners. The moment they check the video, they have already known what is everything on the video. You understand? Why some people, they love to write, when they are watching the video, they will be writing. They'll be writing most important point from the video. You understand? So, as an online tutor, you can use it to teach your students in a very dynamic way. Okay? Let me flip this. Okay? Very good. Then in today's digital world, you discover that on social media, people scroll quickly on social media. Yes or no? Yes. In fact, but you cannot easily scroll whiteboard animation, because by the time you see a hand writing on the board, you don't know the next thing that hand is going to be writing. So you are expecting the next page. You are expecting the next thing. You don't know the next thing that hand is going to write, or you don't know the next motion. You understand? Or next animation that video is going to, that whiteboard animation video is going to do or produce or project. So you are waiting, you are watching, you are checking it. Oh, what is the next thing? You understand? But that's why you cannot easily scroll whiteboard animation video, especially if you have done it perfectly and in a captivating way. Do you understand? And that is the reason why brands and businesses make use of whiteboard animation to advertise their business. You understand? And another thing is that apart from the fact that you cannot scroll it, you cannot scroll it up. You understand? When you see whiteboard animation, you cannot easily scroll that whiteboard animation up, because you don't know the next thing that whiteboard animation is going to write for you. Then where whiteboard animation is used, I think I've explained that before, so I'm not going to take too much of time on this. You understand? Okay. Educational purposes, you can use it for educational purposes to teach your student. You can use it for you can use it for social media content creation. You understand? You can use it for storytelling. I think I've said that before. You want to teach children or students, you can use it to explain processes. That is whiteboard animation for you. Industrial processes in classrooms. You understand? Okay. You can also use it in ministry to teach people about the gospel. You can use it to evangelize in evangelism. You understand? You can tell them about the finished work of Christ on the cross as in ministry or as a Christian. And if you are a Muslim, you can use it to tell them how the Muslim prays, how to pray an acceptable prayer before God. You can use it to explain different things. In fact, you can use it to explain Quran stories. You understand? Stories from Quran. Okay? So you can use it to explain different kind of things. Do you get it now? Okay. So that is where the whiteboard animation can be used. That's where it is very important. Okay. Now, what are the benefits of whiteboard animation? What are the benefits? You cannot just be studying whiteboard animation without knowing the benefits. Okay. The first one is that it captures attention easily. I think I've explained that on social media, on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you know, even YouTube, and different social media platforms. It captures the mind of people. Okay, then depending on the kind of, depending on how quality it is, or depending on the kind of, you know, things that you used for the whiteboard animation. And I'm going to teach you how to make it dynamic. Don't worry, by the end of this class, okay? It improves understanding. Don't forget, like it helps to improve your understanding on a particular concept. If you think something is too hard, yeah, you think something is too hard, by the time you watch a whiteboard animation video, it is going to be simplified. Like I said, you understand earlier, okay? Then it increases engagement. Some people, they will post on Instagram, they will post on TikTok, Facebook, and all these social media platforms, and their, post will not be engaged. Some people, you just see 2 likes. Some people will just see, you understand, you will see maybe 2 likes and many views. Whiteboard animation, it's not like that. You understand? It draws the attention of people to engage on that post. You understand? So that is it. Whiteboard animation will get more people engaged, especially if you post it on social media platforms. Okay? Then it saves time. It saves your time. Instead of you to be looking for camera, instead of you to be looking for studios, you don't need studio, you don't need camera, you don't need to spend too much of time. You understand? On whiteboard animation, the moment you have an idea of what you want to do, you can use whiteboard animation to, especially if you are creative. Someone who is not creative cannot use whiteboard animation effectively. So if you're a businessman, you have to be a creative businessman. You understand? If you are a pastor, you have to be creative. If you are a far, you have to be creative. If you are a fashion designer or a developer, anything you do, you understand, you have to be creative in order for your work to be dynamic and special. Then, it makes your content to be professional. Those content you're posting on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, it makes them to be professional. Then it works for different audiences. We have different audiences. Those that are old, you understand, children. If your audience is those people who are looking for best shoes, then as a shoemaker, you have to be creative enough to get their attention on that social media platforms you are posting your video to. Okay? Then it is cost effective. It's not expensive. I told you, you don't spend too much of money on whiteboard animation. Everything is done on your smartphone. Do you get it? Then the last thing is why whiteboard video captures attention easily. You understand? I'm not going to explain so many things here. I just want to pick the main point. Okay? Now, finally, let us understand why whiteboard animation video attract the attention of people so much. Naturally, every one of us, we have brain. If you are human beings, in fact, other animals too, they have what? Brain. And there is a part of your brain that naturally responds to movement and visuals. When people see drawings appearing gradually on the screen, curiosity increases. Why it draws the attention of people is that it increases people's curiosity when they see pictures, diagrams, icons, text being animated. You understand? They want to know the next thing. They want to know what is on the next slide or the next part of the whiteboard animation. That hand, they want to see the end of the thing that the hand is trying to describe. Do you get it? So there is a part of the brain that naturally responds to what? To visual animations, realities, motion graphics. Are you getting me now? In fact, audio effects and visual illustrations. So naturally, your brain responds to those kind of visual movement, graphics, motion graphics, drawings, when they see it, gradually being written on the screen. Do you get it now? So that's how it captures their mind. If I'm also going through WhatsApp, TikTok content, and I just suddenly see a particular hand, drawing on a particular whiteboard, I don't know the next thing that the hand is going to write. Oh, there is animation. You understand? Suddenly, I just saw an icon from popped up from a particular part. You understand? Being drawn by the hand, and all this visual dynamism. You understand? It will capture my mind, and I don't have any option than to watch it. So that's why whiteboard animation is dynamic. If you want to take your business to the next level, you can use this whiteboard animation. I'm going to teach you how you are going to get those things done on your smartphone. Don't worry. By the end, by the next class, let me say by this time, or by the next class, let me say by the next class, we are going to be learning some other things on whiteboard animation, and that will lead us to the practical session. You understand? So I want to believe that you've learned one or two things in this lesson, and I really appreciate you for taking your time to watch this video. God bless you once again. Okay, the next module is going to be on whiteboard animation proper. You understand? This one is just for you to know what whiteboard animation is all about, like I said at the beginning of the class. Okay, so my name remains Tayode David, popularly known as Prof K. Then and I want to believe that you've learned one or two things. Okay, this whiteboard animation was created by me. Then you are highly appreciated for watching. Stay connected for more impactful content, creativity, and learning from this academy. So God bless you. Thank you. Peace out.